So, been a bit between VOD reviews, but today we're doing a Zarya one that my good friend Rappy decided to send me. This is just quick play, so it'll be pretty short, probably. But yeah. King's Row, classic Zarya map. And let's see what Rappy's got for us.
Reinhard, you know I have...
Have you tried turning it off and on?
Alright, so this being quick play, I'm not going to pay too much attention to the comp. I'm mainly just going to focus on mechanics and decision making of the one individual person. Funny enough, third map that I've done, or second time I've done King's Row in three different VOD, in three VOD reviews so far.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Okay, so immediately, it's a very minor thing, but you can spam over this wall and potentially get some alt charge. Just very minor. Typically don't end up hitting anything, but it's still a good habit to get into just to try to get a little bit of an edge on the other team's Zarya or their supports for alt. Little early on the bubble. So as Zarya's projected, you want to make sure that you wait until your Rein is taking damage before you actually give him the bubble, and same with yourself. He ends up getting you some charge here, but if you wait until that Rein is actually trying to swing on him, you're gonna get a full 40. Good alt fire into the Rein. Nice. Need to alt fire a little bit more at some targets. It's not a big issue right now. But yeah, like right here, you need to just be spamming at that Reinhardt. Your beam's not gonna touch him. So you're staying out of range to where your beam isn't gonna hit him. That's why you need to alt fire more. He's holding his shield quite a bit, but still, it's gonna give you the shield pressure. It's gonna, if his shield does break, it's gonna give you more alt charge. Your beam's just not gonna reach that far, so that's just, you need to get in more of a habit of alt firing in these range situations. You're slept. Ryan does a very good job of protecting you. Again, a little early on the bubble. Solid bubble on yourself. Alt fire. There you go. So far your bubbles are just a little bit early, but like these last couple, it hasn't really mattered. It's been a fraction of a second early. You probably could have held it a little bit longer before you absolutely need to use it. Got a little bit more charge, but you're full charged right now. Doing a pretty good job of staggering your bubbles out. Okay, right there, you use both of them. Probably didn't need to use the personal. Okay, again, just kind of needlessly using the personal here. There's not much reason to use it right now. It's still just the alt fire. Like, you're starting to do it more, but you've got to alt fire more with Zarya. Typical thing to think about with her is just use it like you would Junkrat grenade. Just spam most of the time if you see a group of people. Thank God this isn't a Rein VOD review.
Yes.
Good bubble to cleanse your Rein. Your Rein, yeah, you need to back up. Okay, so this is a big positioning error on your part. You're in a decent spot here to help your Rein. Typically what you want to do is play the statue here. I wasn't going to comment on it until after they actually broke the choke, but you really want to just play this right side of statue. Only go on this left side if they rotate that way, and then you want to rotate where your Sombra is right now. So you would start here, and then you just rotate this way instead of pushing into them. It gives your support sight lines without having to put themselves into major jeopardy of getting picked. Just holding this left side here is just not great positioning for the obvious reasons of it's just a longer walk to get back, and then even if you get around the statue like you're trying to do, you have an entire another sight line that they can try to pick you. You need to just play the statue. If you want to push up to the choke, that's fine. I wouldn't recommend it. Drop back to the statue once they start pressuring you, and then if you need to drop further back, you want to play this right corner of hotel. And it's the same if you're playing Reinhardt on this map. That's the general positioning you want to hold when you're playing a brawl comp. That's not Zarya. Good pick on the Ana. Sports did a very good job at keeping you up there. You're just, I mean, you're out of position. There's not much else to say there. You could have all the resources in the world. You're just out of position. You're gonna die.
Perseverance is the key.
Okay, there's soldiers popping. Good bubble to take a little bit of damage. Need to back up here. And I mean, they're just gonna run through you guys now. So right there, you really should have played that second corner. Just wait for your team. Don't go in. Because the big mistake here is, hold on, let's get caught back up. Okay, so what you should do here is push up to about right here, peek this corner if you want to, this one, but with how much your team is staggered, you should not be pushing up to this corner here. They just bum rushed you, you died. I mean, we saw it. It's just kind of a minor thing where you need to just understand how many people on your team are dead and then just wait for the regroup. Because it's a good idea here to take some damage, but with the way the Zarya change is, with how quickly she loses charge now, you're not going to have this charge by the time the next team fight starts, even if you get out. So really pushing in here just isn't the smartest decision. You need to just back up, hold the corner, not peek, and you'd be fine. And then, yeah, I mean, again, you guys are just getting staggered now.
This fight is not over.
I need help. I could use a help. I need help.
Good alt fire.
Now see what I can do.
Little early on the bubble. I would wait till you get a harder engagement before you throw your bubble out. Good counter grab. Bubble your Pharah. Every time she barrages like that, bubble her. There's a very good chance she gets 2 kills with your bubble there instead of just the 1. I mean, their Widow just killed half your team. Not much you can say about that. That was a very good counter grab. The only thing that you needed to change there was you had your projected online. The second you realize your Pharah's barraging, bubble her when she's that low, especially because that's just too easy of a kill for the other team. Good bubble. There's some solid alt fire. Keep alt firing. When you're not beaming with Zarya and it's an engagement, alt fire. That should be like in your head. Just constantly alt fire when you see somebody in front of you if they're out of range of your beam. Good focus on their Zarya. Good bubble to cleanse. Very nice bubble on your Mei. Your Mei stayed in too long. Good bubble. I picked their Ryan, so it's a solid pick. You have your grab way before their Zarya does, so if you come back and get a big one, then you guys can still turn this and stabilize.
Graviton surge is ready.
Solid bubble. Considering you don't have a Ryan, not the target I would be looking for. Because he's just gonna back out of this. You got, like, unless everybody on your team collapses on him, which some of your team isn't in position to do, he's gonna live this. He's full health. You have nothing to really cleave his shield other than a Brigitte. And yeah, he gets out. Solid bubble on your diva. Good focus. Nice. Very good picks. Little overextended here. You're antied. You need to try to back up. I wouldn't have tried to walk forward anymore. I know it's just one step, but like the second you get antied and you kill two, just back up, fight's over, no need to push further. A lot of this stuff is too ranged for you to get close enough to do much to right now. Very nice. Good bubble. Alt fire in these situations every time. Beam, alt fire, alternate it. You beam, alt fire, it's going to maximize your damage output and shield pressure on the Reinhardt. Nice pick. That's not a bad bubble, because you're going to have your bubble off cooldown by the time the next fight comes in, so... it was unnecessary, but not bad. That probably doesn't make much sense, but... like, it wasn't needed, but it was still a decent bubble, because if that soldier decided to damage the brig, you would have gotten charged, so... it's a good bubble. Little too far up here, and that's why they have the Ana. You have no shield. You've got to try to play a little bit safer in these situations, and that's exactly why. So with the Ana, you have no shield unless you time your bubble perfectly to cancel that sleep dart. You're getting put in a very bad situation. You need to try to play that corner just a little bit more without a shield. Like the poke is fine if you have a Ryan to shield you and you can bubble to make sure that you get back. But right there, I really wouldn't be trying to get too much poke because of the fact that they have an Ana and a Widow that can chip you down really quickly with the sleep and Widow hitting headshots, and you have very limited healing with a Brig Zen.
échappe à mon regard.
No one can hide from my sight.
Wiek żywi, wiek ucis.
Huge bomb, that's winnable.
Get in there.
So, I understand the thought process with that bubble. You're not sure if anyone's there to still shoot at the brig because you can't see around the corner. That's where you need to try to pay attention to the kill feed. That fight's over unless your brig is super overextended. There's not much of a reason to bubble, but again, you're gonna have it back before the next fight, so it's okay. Again, with the overextension though, luckily you timed the sleep dart this time, but you're still very overextended. Little early of a bubble there. So that bubble was early. And then make sure the shield is destroyed before you grab. There's no reason to rush a grab there. I know the thought process was probably, it looks like, was, okay, the shield will break, so I can just throw grab real quick. The problem with that is the shield didn't break. Make sure it is gone before you throw this grab. Because, I mean, you see the result. It's just, nobody's in it. Because this would be a good grab if that shield is gone. You can probably trap the Rhine. Not the best target for a grab again, because again, no cleave, but with how your team's positioned, it actually would be okay. I think this is just a rushed grab. You hear people talk about like holding your grab too long. This one you definitely would just rushed it. Good focus fire. Very nice pick. Just alt fire. Okay, again with the overextensions, just don't, when you don't have a shield tank and you have limited heals like they do, like you do, you need a line, and this should be it right here. You shouldn't be pushing up past this corner. Especially when that Ana's alive and you know she has sleep off cooldown. They have two shields. Pushing up past this corner can be very bad with how limited of healing you have. So you just got to be more mindful of positioning. You need to alt fire here. Beam alt fire, put pressure on that Rhine shield as much as possible. Just beaming it isn't enough. Good alt fire. Again, rotate your alt fire and your beam. Very good focus on the Winston there. Very good bubble on the Mei. Don't push too far here. Okay, again, you're out in the open. Like, this Ryan could easily just charge you right now. It'd be stupid on his part, but that's what he could do. And you have limited heals. You're not going to get bursted up quick enough. He's going to get the pick. And your high charge, that would be very, very bad. Okay, so now they have an Ana and a Hog. Okay, no, they went off of the Ana, but they have a Hog now. So you need to be especially cautious of your positioning. This Hog could easily just hook you into your into his team, and they can kill you. You don't have the healing to survive that, and there's really not much that's going to be able to get you out of that. So, like, it's just right here is just the biggest positioning issue you're having this map. You've got to try to not go past where your diva is. Like, where this diva is right here should really be your line. You poking this far out in this corner is going to get you killed at some point, and especially if you're playing like in comp against higher elos, you're going to get killed doing this if you don't have a Rhine to back you up or to shield you while you poke. Because see, he hooks your diva. It's a good bubble. Your diva has the mobility to get out, luckily. Solid grab. That was a very good grab. There just wasn't anyone to follow up. There's not much to say about that. Nice bomb. Okay, again, you guys are pushing way too far forward. You need to alt fire more. Like, you gotta pound that into your head. You need to be alt firing more. You're not doing it nearly enough. Nice bomb. Did a good job falling back there. Solid bubble on your diva. Good pressure on the echo. Alt fire. Need to alt fire more still. Good job peeling for the Winston. Very nice grab. Okay, in this situation, fire under his shield. He's high enough you can shoot right here and you're gonna get the damage. You don't need to fire at him. You can shoot under him and you'll get the damage. When it's a grab like that that lifts them up, aim a little bit lower, you'll get that damage. Good job getting on the cart to try to get some damage in. Very good pick. I mean, right here, the fight's just breaking down into chaos. You're doing a good job bubbling, staying high charge. Good pick on the Genji. Not bad. So, main issues. Positioning on that third point is kind of a big thing, specifically overextending once you guys, like once the enemy is starting to re-engage or push up for their next, or start to make their next push. Need to alt fire more. Don't rush your grabs. You know, you get Zaryas that look for the perfect grab. A couple of those were a little rushed. Try to be a little more mindful of what team you have around you in terms of healing, things like that, because obviously when you're playing comp, if you're not in a 6-stack, it's going to be a lot harder to have the ideal comp for how you want to play, or you know, how you would prefer to play. Yeah, other than that, bubbles got a lot better as the map went on. They started off kind of iffy. We're very early on a couple of them, but after the map went on, much better. Good job peeling back, helping out your supports when the Winston dove in. Yeah, I mean, overall solid. Just work on alt firing more, a little more mindful of positioning and when to actually go try to engage with your team. A couple of those fights went in way too early and it ended up staggering you. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you, Raptor, for submitting this, and hopefully it helped.